So when I saw it, I was like, okay.
Okay, good afternoon. We are going to start on time. I know we're going to be missing a few. I know Stephanie had some people in her office. So we are live. Just turn your microphone on if you want to. Appreciate you being here. We've got kind of a lot to go through, and I'm going to add a couple things. So, John, you get started, and we will.
Okay. Call the meeting to order at 4:02, whatever. Anyway, approval of the minutes from the last meeting.
Okay, and I can pull those up. Sorry, I was actually doing that. If you need to see those, I just send them out. We'll just get them really quick. I think we spent some time on the expansion. The ideas were shared there. And then we had that meeting, and then obviously they were, by the way, those ideas were right in the line with some of the other things that were discussed ahead of time. Careful. You're fine. And yeah, then we did the tickets, so any questions on the minutes?
Look for motion in a second to approve the minutes of the May meeting.
Make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And you have attendance and approval of the agenda.
I would like to put a item called concessions on the, let's just go right after box office report. Put concessions. Discussion on there. No action will be taken, just for review it. We'll decide if we need to take action, we're going to do it in July. Anybody else have
Okay.
anything they want to change, right?
Yeah? All in
Make
favor? Motion
Yep.
to approve and second?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carried. And director's report.
Okay, yeah, we'll just kind of quickly go through, last time we met, or since we met, we had the Upper Westland graduation, and then we met, and that went well. We had between the athletic banquet, the Metro Technical College graduations, FFA banquet, Mitchell High's graduation. Prior to the gift shop moving in, 24,000 people in the building for those events. So we had a busy May, actually, as far as visitors. First 2 weeks of visitor numbers, so they moved in on that Monday after graduation, Mitchell High's graduation, the gift shop, they moved in. And they started up operations about late Thursday, but Friday morning, they were all set with the register and running the sales over here on the floor. So for the summer, they have basically a 3-month contract to use the Corn Palace floor. We feel we're good partners. Our job is to support them, make the facility clean, accessible, and make sure that it's inviting for our visitors. So in the next 3 months, we will be supporting the gift shop and the chamber and hope that they can have lots of sales. And I report weekly numbers to them, including Labor Day. That first week they were in, we had 9,385 people, which was up about 5% from 2023. Then the second week reported, so I report Monday to Sunday, and 8,600, which was actually down from 2023. So, and then,
Memorial Day.
well, we were, yes, if we did Memorial Day to Sunday, this last Sunday, yes, we were down from last year. Yep. If we took the first week, which I also included Memorial Day in that report, that's why that's a little bigger, we were up. So I try to just give Jennifer a gift shop manager, Johanna marketing, Troy Magnuson, they all get those numbers. So if you want to be included in that report, I can certainly do that if you're interested. Not a problem, I can put the committee on it very easy. You don't need to do that.
All right.
National Travel and Tourism Week was the week of the 19th, so they moved in. So Corn Palace was red. Obviously, that's a big deal for Mitchell. I've said this before to that, I guess it was to the council, but we're in the southeast region, tourism South Dakota, and we actually had more sales than the Badlands region or the Black Hills region last year. So, and obviously Sioux Falls is part of this region too. But
Out of Sioux Falls, yeah. We were the second in our
yes.
southeast South.
Yeah,
So
Southeast
we
Dakota.
beat Yankton, which is always
And it
good.
was $4 million in tourism dollars came into the city. So that's, I think it's pretty impressive. Yeah, that's kind of an update, just the events. And then, of course, our focus moves to Farmers Market, which I made you aware, we have moved that to Hitchcock Park. You know, we want to have more things here in the plaza, it's a great space, but we want that to be successful. And it just hasn't grown like we want it to, the vendors or attendees. So we're going to try to move into the park where we have, you know, I had eight of 12 sessions at entertainment last year, but it was just so hot in the plaza. So we're going to try the park, and I've got really good feedback from vendors. We'll see how it goes. It starts a week from Wednesday, the 12th. And we'll set up flags that Wednesday morning and take them down Wednesday nights. And the concert will be going on, the pool will be going on. There's walkers in the park. The last two in August, the two in August when the band ends, we'll put entertainment on the stage over there towards the 1st and the 7th. And then the last one will be your festival. We'll move it to the plaza for a festival, make that part of the Corn Palace Festival, which I think is a good fit. So I've informed all of our vendors of that. Anyway, that's what I have for director's report.
Okay, and box office report?
Box office report, I just want to go over a few things with ticket sales. Scotty, we're currently at 10,042.
What went down?
I'm sorry, did I say 10,000?
Yeah.
I got all excited there.
I'll take it.
1,042. Skillet tickets, not quite as good, but we're at 358 there. Want to talk about Battle of the Bands for a second. I know Doug's been in contact with a couple. I was in contact with a band called Troy out of Springfield, Missouri, and they have an interest in coming, so we're going to try to lock them in. And just before I came over here, earlier today, Amy had put out some stuff on social media looking for a country band, and I got a phone call from a gentleman from somewhere in Nebraska. He was traveling, so had a hard time talking with him, but he's got my email, and he's going to reach out to me hopefully this evening when he gets back home. Country band that's played quite a bit in Nebraska, the way it sounds. Don't know what their name is or anything about them, but I think we still need to lock down a country band.
So just to cover that again, and I'm going to show you on our website, cornpalace.com, Corn Palace Festival. You go up here at the top, you can go over to festival schedule, okay? And this is always, we update this as soon as we have changes, okay? So we go into Tuesday, Wednesday setup. So we know Brandon Jones is contracted, okay, for a full show, free show outdoors on Wednesday night. Vendors Roy's open at 11. It's Lance and Leah. I think I don't know if I had them last time we were here, but they are, quick story, I learned about them down in Nashville. Been following them for about 5 years now, and they're playing at 11, Sioux Falls. So I just noticed they're on the list, so I reached out and see if they'd want to come over here and do a 90-minute show before Scott McCreary show. And quite honestly, they would have been a wonderful opener for Scott McCreary, but we had already contracted with Rowan Grace, and they'd already accepted Rowan Grace. So Battle of the Bands, we'll start, as those bands are contracted, we'll start listing those in here. We'll have some entertainment outside before that as well. Kids Pedal Pole is going to go on Saturday. The Skillet concert with Saul, and we'll have entertainment outside for free ahead of that show as well. So anyway, you can always go here and check in, and then also exhibit book is here. So we will start pushing that out. I mean, as it gets closer to festival, but The exhibit book is always available, coloring contest, and all that kind of stuff. So all things festival on the website. I just wanted to throw that out, so you can always look at the schedule, and if someone asks, well, what's going to be going on that night, you can go here. As soon as we have it contracted, we'll put it on the site. Okay, sorry, Ray. Just wanted to, thought that was a good fit. Thank you for digging into the, what's that called? Heavy metal? Heavy metal rock?
Yeah, they're rock.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say heavy metal. So country, we need a country band.
Okay.
And we have the list, it's Planet Parkston, obviously, Liz on Mission Main Street's got a good list, so we have several to play here, so we'll be able to come up with a good country band. It's just, reaching out, see who's available and whether they're, it's only a 45-minute set, so you aren't paying them very much for the chance to win cash prize at the end. They just have to, plug in and write the sounds, all ready to go.
We have other bands already locked in for the Battle of the Bands.
We have 2 bands that are ready to go, and we haven't got contracts for them yet, but they are verbally committed, yes.
And how many are we looking at?
4. It'd be 7, 8, 9, and 10 is when they would fight. Yeah, and the show goes till 7 to 11.
And the fee for that is
$10, $10, yep, $10 wristband, come and go as you please.
And that's on the Thursday?
That is on Friday.
Friday?
Friday
It should be a good, should be good for our vendors outside. People come and go, eat, come and listen, and we want the bands to sell themselves, obviously, that's the intent here. So they have their own fan base they bring with them. We gotta figure out how to do the voting. We had some options. I know the Chamber's got an app that I thought, well, maybe we can use that. There's several things we can do. So, the simple as a write-in vote too, but you buy a wristband, you get a vote. And then we have to collect some data so that they're not doubling and all that kind of thing.
We can do it on the app. We need more downloads.
Yeah, so, all right.
All right, concessions.
Well, I put that on there. Tim, you had asked a question about concessions. And so I didn't know if you wanted to, if you had concerns or you wanted to visit about it. As a general rule, we obviously take input from the board, we take input from anybody. When people are saying, geez, this is high or this is low, or you guys are very reasonable, we listen to all of that input and make decisions based on it. So Greg did an update.
I did not have one.
So this is our menu sheet that is currently placed out in the lobby right now.
I guess my comment on the concessions was more directed just directly at the beer sales. I feel like for an event venue, when we have events, typically that's the only time we sell beer is when we have a captive audience. I feel like our price on beer is low compared to what you would see at other marketplaces. And for an event specifically, but then also in our local marketplace, I feel like we're pretty competitive with local business. And I think we could look at increasing our prices on beer sale costs to the public and not have people terribly upset. Obviously, there's going to be people that groan whenever you raise the price, but I don't think it would be unreasonable to look at a price increase of some kind.
Especially on your premium beer.
And I would agree, we will be going, our carbless mixed cocktails
Yes.
are very popular, they have to go up. Because our cost on those is substantially more than a can of beer. And if you go out and travel, let me know. A lot of the concert venues are going with the big cans, the 16-ounce cans. And they're in that $7 range. Some places are $9. We probably aren't there. We are currently $5 for a 12-ounce can.
Yeah.
Now, when we go outside like Friday night for First Friday, that's a 12-ounce cup. And we really need to sell that at 4 or we're not going to sell anything, on the street. Because we're competing with tap beer already, which is going for $3.
So, Tim, to answer part of that question as well, like, I agree in some aspects of that. When we have a concert, and Doug's talking about First Fridays, I think we need to leave our current pricing, a $5 beer on those events because we're outside competing with our neighbors. But when we have events in the Palace, when we're having these concerts, I do agree that we need to raise prices. So I have an idea what I would like to put them at, but I would like your input as well. Your thoughts.
And maybe we can maybe just put that as an agenda item even for July. We've got time to do that. That's not an issue for a festival to change those. Our signage isn't done until literally 2 weeks ahead of that for festival. They print them for us and get all that ready. So I didn't know if you had any questions about our other concessions, popcorn, candies, that kind of thing.
I feel like Corn Palace Festival, is it listed like your liquor prices? Is all liquor the same or?
Oh, no, it's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that was the price points on those things is what I was curious about. And then the other thought that I had recently gone to the Premier Center in Sioux Falls, and I know that sometimes I feel like we struggle to get bodies in the concession stand to work. Is that true? Like when we have larger events, because a lot of the times the high school kids want to also go to those events. Would that be a true statement?
It depends on the event.
And so,
And I know that's vague, but that's exactly, like the Scotty concert, I'm gonna have a lot of kids at that concert.
yeah.
Graduation, I had 2 kids that didn't attend in some, for friends or whatever. So, prom night, 2 kids didn't request the night off. Well, I'm not gonna schedule a kid to work prom night when they're going to prom. So, yeah, some events are difficult based on,
Yeah, I understand. And so one of the things that the Premier Center has started to do is have like a grab and go section where you just are able to walk up and grab a bottle of whatever you're looking for and able to have, there was one person that was running 2 registers and you just walked up with whatever you purchased and it streamlined the process pretty significantly. And I didn't know if that was something we could look at implementing on one or both sides of, you can pull. So that way, when you have those nights where you only have one person, or if you're like, this is right on the border of needing the both concession stands open, you could have one side be a dedicated concession stand with your full menu offering, and then the second side being a more limited menu offering with limited SKUs of different bottled beverages and those kinds of operating things, like just your pops, your sodas, water, maybe popcorn. I don't know what you would all have over there, but limit it so that way a person can just stand at the register and you grab whatever you want and they ring you up and you're on your way. So be something to look at I
Good
think,
idea.
as well.
As a general rule, for festival and the concerts, we don't sell a lot of hot foods. In fact, we want them to support our vendors. We've actually lost some vendors this year because it's just too many vendors and not enough bodies. So we've had 2 that have been here a long, long time. One's picked up another show and the other one retired, and the one comment was it's just too many vendors. So we have to be careful that way. We want to support them for the hot foods, certainly. I mean, I think we can always add bodies. It's a fine, we don't have trouble getting kids. We get way more applications than we hire. But you also can't, for example, after basketball was done, we have these events, twice a week. And a lot of them are banquets where we don't even have concessions open, So then we all of a sudden got these bodies and they're looking, then they quit because they need the hours. So it is a balancing act, but certainly something we can look at. If you think we can do the big cans of beer too for festival, that might be a way to raise the price, go with a larger bottle.
I would be interested to know what the cost difference is on a 12 ounce to 16
I don't
ounce.
want to share that,
Yeah, it'd be an executive
open,
session.
yeah.
Yep.
But I can certainly bring that next month.
Yeah. And so that way we can look and see what the cost difference is and what we would expect at other places as well.
Is there a way to get a comparison to what like South Dakota State Fair or Sioux Empire Fair, like what they do, price wise too?
Yeah.
I was just thinking that's maybe more of an easy comparison versus like
A lot
Premier
of,
Center.
inside the arena we can do. The vendors, we can't compare vendors because they're all.
Oh,
over the board.
yeah, I'm
But
saying-
the arena itself,
yeah, like for at their show, like what do they do? What are they selling beer at? Like what more of a festival thing.
I will have put together some,
That's an easy
we'll see
comparison.
what we can find out. We'll just call and do some secret shopping.
Perfect.
Or Actually, we're part of an organization, fairs and festivals, and I have a mailing list, so I'll just put that out there and say, hey, we're looking to upgrade our prices and volumes of our items we sell. What are y'all doing? And I can get you some information. No problem.
Well, looking at that silo, the 16 ounce, as opposed to 12 ounce, that would be an opportunity there to increase retail, and probably do a better retail than what we have and a better margin.
I've never sold those here, but they do that at lots of shows.
Sure.
Lots of venues, no doubt. So, okay.
Okay, and next on the agenda, festival marketing.
Okay, you have a handout on that. So radio, so this is, a couple of you inquired about, or are we late? You know, we have a limited amount of dollars we spend, so when do you spend that? Typically, we did some scouting, like with Hairball, for example. We did an announcement, and then the week of the show. You have to, you spread it out. So here's what we have put together for festival. Some of it is going already, some of it will be happening. So if we go down the list, Facebook contest that we'll do, it's usually tickets, a dinner, and a hotel for a winner for sharing that. That worked well for Hairball. We got a sponsor for that. We'll look at doing that again with some tickets for each of the shows, for McCreary and for Skillet, Thursday and Saturday. We have Midco doing some digital advertising for us. Print marketing, we'll have our festival posters as soon as our sponsors are secure, which is kind of on our priority list today. Pepper is going to be doing, so last year, if you remember, Gray Marketing, who was a Romeo company, did our paid digital advertising. So we are having Pepper Entertainment do that this year. And so we requested that a few weeks ago, just kind of made contact. He got back to me on Friday, yesterday, and I sent the guy the information today of here's where we want to be. So we'll see what they come up with. Our price range is $3,000 for that. And then we have $1,500 that Midco will do Sioux Falls area, Brookings, Aberdeen, not Pier, Canton, Beersford, that area. Okay. The posters, we did the For You pages already. If you saw those, that went to every mailbox in Mitchell. That was on the front page. That worked well for us. Scotty McCreary, we didn't get to see as much bounce from the Skillet ad. But we will put an ad in the baseball program, an ad in the rodeo program. We'll do Mitchell Republic print leading up to festival. The digital billboards, we'll pay for some of that. We'll get an equal amount of that or more in free, which is nice. Radio, you can see we're spending a good chunk there. That started yesterday. So we have Kickin' and 104.7 out of Sioux Falls. They reached just to the Elk Point Jefferson area, not really into Sioux City, which we're trying to get to Saul, which is their headquarters out of Sioux City. KMIT and Q107 here in Mitchell. And then we'll do a number of, so they're matching those dollars, the radio station. I'll be doing weekly talks on the radio with Q107, starting about mid-July. I was on there yesterday. I'll go back weekly starting in August. So you'll hear me quite a bit on Q107. KMIT, and they're going to introduce the, Q107 is going to introduce the Skillet show. KMIT is going to introduce the Scott McCreary show and do part of a package there with them. And they've increased their support for our ads. And so you'll be hearing those if you haven't already. So, and ticket giveaways, totals of what we've got right now. Oh, at the top, I forgot to mention, Gold Star Amusement actually gives us $2,500 towards marketing as well. So we've got $2,500 to spend. So that $2,000 or $22,250 does not include the $2,500 from Gold Star. And I guess, if you had concerns or questions, I certainly can take those. I mean, we're not, we depend on some of the experts, the radio people do that for a living.
I noticed that we got billboards for the Corn Palace, like on the interstate. Do we ever think about having one for like Corn Palace?
Just for festival?
Because it's every year at the same time, why not have one on that interstate?
I don't know if they come
Good.
up.
Yeah.
The billboards are put up by the CVB as part of their marketing for the Corn Palace annually, and I don't know how often they switch those out.
We've been updating quite a few of them. I don't think we've had one specifically targeting festival. We have, majority of them target the Corn Palace
Right.
itself.
I know we had the same signs. I mean, would it hurt to have one? Because it'd be like investment in a sense for.
We have, other things we're doing internally are really no charge. We printed posters and we made ourselves. They're in, we have 100 of those out in Mitchell right now, just to kind of get those out in front of folks. At the convenience stores, the grocery stores, the manufacturing plants all have those now. This went out a couple weeks ago. So, then we'll get our official festival poster out in those same places as soon as they're printed.
Yeah, I think maybe the reason we haven't is because the dates aren't, it's not technically always falling on the same.
No, it does roll back.
Yeah. So that's maybe.
But,
Would be nice.
Yeah, because the billboards don't get changed
They don't
every
get
year.
changed as
Yeah.
frequently, so
yeah, you'd have to do something like.
there's not a,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. August, you know.
Yeah,
There's
they-
a website on there, but we already have the website.
You at
because
least
they're
look-
working
you
on
at
one
least look it
for
up and be like,
pre-Sturgis,
oh,
but it
August,
always says
August.
before Sturgis, so it's easy to market when that is. It's harder to market when the festival is.
You'll actually see some of the digital boards will be advertising the pre-Sturgis event, which is a city event now, but you'll see Corn Palace concerts part of that too. They'll kind of start rotating, and then as soon as pre-Sturgis drops off, we'll get the spots that they have.
And then I'll say, as far as the app, we'll do the same thing as last year where we created a specific Corn Palace Festival on the app, a completely separate category at the top of the app page. And then it has links to the schedule and the exhibitor plan and all of that. So we'll do the same thing, and that's
They did a
obviously.
very nice job supporting the festival, so we appreciate it. So anytime you have questions about that, or you hear something that doesn't sound like that ad was kind of weird, Greg and I and Amy listen to those and we get approval and give approval for them. I would think by the end of the week, Pepper will have something put together as far as when they're gonna start. Last year, Gray did that. Of course, we were late getting our acts, but they started about the first week of July. That's on Facebook and Google Ads, targeted ads. And we spent $3,700 last year with Gray marketing.
I just wonder if there's not more social media influence that we could capitalize on. I feel like that is one place that historically we have not done a good job of advertising our shows, not just Facebook, but also, Snapchat to TikTok, all of these different platforms. I'm no means a marketing guru by any means, but if you see it enough, it eventually sticks. And I just don't know that we're connecting with the generation that, like, for me, I find out about stuff on Facebook. If it's not on Facebook, I don't see it. So I feel like that's probably the most influential way to market at this point. I don't feel like we're.
Yeah, like even if I don't want to see it, I see it on Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat. It's just in my face. So I'm like, okay.
Well-
So Pepper Entertainment, who do they all advertise to?
That'll go out on Spotify listeners for Curie, for example. So we saw that last year. We thought we got good bounce from Gray efforts. It showed up a lot of different places, random places, if you will.
Pepper also emails anyone who's ever previously bought a ticket from them that gave their email address, because I think I've gotten at least 3 emails on each concert, so.
Yep, I got that.
And that's just part of our contract with them. That's not paid for, but this will be direct digital marketing that they'll do. So we'll see what they come up with. Tim, to your question, last year's the first year we had done that through, other than we had the chamber do it the year before, and that was, we basically bought it via Facebook and via Instagram, right? Via our meta site. So it should be getting better, as we move along and get a little more experience and how we do it. And Midco will be doing some too.
The Visit Mitchell site shares everything that the Corn Palace site on Facebook puts out. And we did a special giveaway of tickets and stuff, so I mean, a little bit then.
I think part of my thought, though, is that for what we do for festival, whenever we have a special event, I think it should be separate and that we should be marketing it earlier. That if we're waiting until June or July, I mean, I go to several concerts, and the people I go to concerts with, we always look a year, 6 months out, and like we're starting to create travel plans. I think I have concert tickets into December now. And so if we're waiting until June or July to like try and get a captive audience, the people that would travel to a concert, I think, have already made plans to do other things. And so it becomes difficult to get people to travel to Mitchell. And I know that that's been something that's been said is, well, people don't travel from Sioux Falls or elsewhere. And I think one of the reasons why they do that is because we wait till late into the season to market the shows, in my opinion anyways.
Should there be a separate Facebook page for festival?
Wouldn't hurt.
Well, we had a social media strategist that told us that you shouldn't be having multiple pages and because people don't find them. We have in the past created an event for festival and the various concerts on the Corn Palace page. I don't know if we've done that yet. Tim, I agree. I already have concert tickets bought throughout the year.
Yeah.
Because you kind of plan your month and your budget for
And I mean,
concerts
a
around that.
concert's a social gathering that has a pretty large ticket to it. So you have to, it's not just, I want to go, it's I want to go with a group of friends, getting that group of friends and trying to get sitters and all of those things lined up. It takes time and effort. And so hotels, if you're staying from out of town. And so the sooner we get that marketing piece out there, I think the better. And so I honestly think June and July are almost too late as far as marketing goes as a concept. And I realize that this year we're kind of at June already, so there's not much you can do. But I think moving forward when we have those, I think what actually should happen is there should just be a separate marketing strategy for the concerts that are within the festival than the festival itself. That you are advertising the two festival things that cost the most amount of money, that require the most planning ahead of time, and then the spur of the moment thing, which is the festival, in my opinion, you could convince someone to drive in or come for the day for that, but the concert itself is a little bit more bigger ticket item, in my opinion.
I would say probably 90% of this marketing is concert only, those two concerts. The festival, you're right, the festival itself, we don't have people from Sioux Falls coming to go on those gardens, right? Because they have their fair. Turner County has their fair, Brown County has their fair, Huron has their fair, so you're right. So we don't, all of this is just the concerts, that's a substantial amount of money for two concerts, in my opinion. So we think we're applying enough, whether it's in the right spot or soon enough, we can certainly make adjustments there. Okay? I mentioned a couple other things. We'll put the float in the parade again this year, and we have some banners that will go on there, and that will kind of move around town. So that's kind of a fun little thing we've done, and people like to see the Corn Palace float sitting on a different corner every week, and it's kind of like its own little billboard. So we will do that again as well. All right, let's move right to sponsorships, which you have got 2 sheets there, and I'm going to need your help with this. And fairly timely, we would like to finalize and make these contacts by the end of next week, 13th, 14th. So, this is 2023, and I sent this out to you, so hopefully you have a chance to look at it a little bit. We did scale back because of the value of our ticket. We have our 3 core sponsors with Burnt 90, GM, Spencer Quarries Commercial Asphalt, and L Wines Distributing. Okay, for Thursday, Friday, Saturday shows. So that $5,000 sponsorship, those are those 3. Okay, so we have yet, last year we had one $3,000 sponsorship, and that was the scoreboard, and reached out to them to see if they would do that again. I haven't not heard back yet, but I will be following up. And then $1,500 and $500, those are going to be, and you can see the little check marks. So one thing that most of them don't take advantage of, I should mention one direction we're going, which will be substantial, is we're trying to line up campers for our entertainment this year. versus using our locker rooms for green rooms. We don't have air conditioning, you may not know that, in our locker rooms in the back. The Corn Palace, we brought in portable air conditioning units, which kind of work. But we're gonna try, we've reached out to try to put campers there, or like what the fair does, behind the grandstands, so we've never been there. So that would be in lieu of a sponsorship, to have campers. So haven't confirmed that for sure yet, but we reached out and hopefully that'll move forward. So the ones that are in gray are what we had last year. Okay, now there is a list of businesses here, and I will update the ones that I've gotten. I'll send that to you in the minutes tomorrow. If you're comfortable reaching out to some of these folks, I will tell you, and I'll make some notes. I didn't want to do that publicly. Some of these don't want their sponsorship shared because it's in kind, and they don't necessarily, they appreciate it, the tickets and whatnot, but we don't actually put them on the poster. So I will put them on this working document for you. In kind would be the Slumberland parking lot, for example. Okay, they allow us to take over their east end of their parking lot. Graham Goodyear would be another one. We actually shut off their front door for almost a week. So we give them an in-kind sponsorship in lieu of the interruption to their service, and it makes for a good neighbor. We try to keep our business on Main Street open. That includes the plaza, it includes Main Street Mercantile, and includes the Scoreboard Bar and Grill. So we're leaving their front doors open. We don't give them sponsorship. I do a trade with Mercantile for their 7th and Main location. We use that for vendors. And it's, you know, it's a good win for us, but quite honestly, they can put their own vendor there if they wanted to. And we want that to be part of the festival. So Jean is already, she said she will reach out to First National Bank. That's the only one, and she couldn't be here, so she wanted to tell me that. And I will clean this up and send that to you, so take a look at it, and you're gonna see my name by several of those. And then I would appreciate if you would say, hey, I can do this one, this one, this one. This sheet gives them tickets. They can have, obviously, their logo will be on our website, it'll be on all of our print material, including the poster. It'll be on the digital ads in the Corn Palace when the concert, prior to the concert starting. Once the concert starts, then we go exclusively to our concert sponsor, which is the 3 I mentioned. Last year, our total sponsorship in cash, $23,250. So obviously, we wouldn't be lower than that. If we can help it. I think there's a lot of businesses there that support the festival. They just have to be asked. And comp tickets, that will be a little different. This year it's going to be as reflective of 2023. We'll use this level this year. Okay? So a $500 sponsorship is going to get 2 tickets to each of the Thursday and the Saturday show. And again, I don't know what that date is. Next Thursday, maybe I'll send a reminder. You can do a little bit of homework, but look for that list updated tomorrow with the minutes, and then you can start just emailing me, and I'll keep updating, and I'll just build maybe a Google Doc. I've done that, or I just email it out each time so you can see the update. Okay, some of you use Google and some of you don't. So, any questions about that? Okay. If no questions, I think we can move to the next item.
Citizens input? Citizens? Okay, motion and second to go to executive session. Motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.